That was a very beautiful piece from your guest. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're now on the Entrepreneur Spotlight on the Weekend Show. Visual art has been an integral part of human expression and communication. Since the dawn of civilization, from the ancient cave paintings to the contemporary digital art of today, digital art has evolved, visual art has evolved significantly, reflecting the cultural, social, and technological advancements of each era. Visual art is more than a spectacle. It is a window into the soul of the artist, a glimpse into their emotions, thoughts, and creativity. Now, on the spotlight today, we have a visual artist here with us. We have Paula Nyeze of Chen Art Studio. Good morning and welcome to the spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, let's start with my first question. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you became a visual artist?
So my journey into art began like any other child's. I started with crayons, pencils, poster colors, and this was, of course, during the time of me attending primary school. And at that period, it was more of exploration, just playing around. So after I left primary school and I got into secondary school, and thank God it's a secondary school that fostered a healthy environment for creativity. There, my passion for art bloomed, and thanks to the support of the teachers, my parents, and family in general, I was able to pursue a professional degree as an artist. And after which I've been practicing, so we're here now.
Interesting. So now, can you walk us through your creative process when you want to start a piece? What goes through the mind of Paula Nyeze? How would you describe your artistic style and what themes do you technically like to explore in your work?
So my creative process is intentional. I gather as many resources as I can for whatever piece I'm working on, depending on the subject. Um, I draw my inspiration from any source, from physical sources, emotional sources, experiences, not just mine, but others. And then when I am satisfied with what I have, I piece together a sort of a frame, a framework, blueprint in a sketch, and then from there I take it to the canvas or the wall, whichever. And I work till I get the results I want. For my style, it's more African because I'm African, and I want at every opportunity that I have to promote African culture. Aside from that, I blend my African style with graffiti. Graffiti is an art style that's derived from hip hop culture in African American society, and I'm very much inspired by how graffiti art has impacted the community as well as other communities around the world. And so I aspire to blend that into my style to also see how I can replicate the same impact here in my community. For my themes, what I do like to paint or talk about in my artwork, what my messaging is directed towards is femininity, basically, and the strength of a woman, and how her experiences basically shapes her life, her decisions, as well as the impact of her society on her. So those are basically what I
Interesting.
work
Speaking
on.
of graffiti, because most times when you speak of graffiti, it's usually a male kind of dominated art. It's mostly men you see painting on walls and doing all of that.
Yeah.
Like I went through your Instagram page at Chen Art Studio on
Yeah.
Instagram and I saw some of your graffiti work really beautiful. Like
Thank you.
if I was told this was done by a woman, I'd be like, wow, I need to see this happen in real time.
Thank you
So
very
now,
much.
it brings me to my next question now. How do you think art, especially visual art now, can be used to spark social change or raise awareness about important, and trending issues in the society?
So visual art has been a tool for social change for decades now. And For me personally, as an artist, I'm working on a collection of artworks that focus on women and the issues surrounding women. Take, for example, gender-based violence, uh, um, women who deal with reproductive health issues, and girls out of school. So my focus on that is due to the fact that in the last 2, 3 years, it's been more pronounced, um, the problems revolving around women's security, how women are attacked, assaulted, killed in this very society that we live in. And I'd like to very much highlight on these problems. And if my art can make an impact, I'd very much contribute to the conversation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I must really commend that. Now, this is the Entrepreneur Spotlight, and we like to, focus on the business side of things. And most people view art, especially drawing and painting, as a hobby.
Yeah.
So now, how do you balance, the creative side of your art and being a professional artist, the business side, when it comes to your clients?
So as an artist, I love painting. I focus on uh, my work most of the time, and it's easy to get lost in that world. However, it's still a source of livelihood for me. And I have to put into consideration the branding of my business and what it's targeting, who it's targeting, as well as the general economic situation within the country and how it affects everybody. So for instance, in my case, I have to pay attention to the cost of materials and how that's going to affect pricing. I have to pay attention to the purchasing power of the clients that I'm targeting, and to ensure that whatever it is that I'm selling as a service can end up as valuable as what I'm requesting for payment. So I have to make sure that on both ends, things are balanced, on the creative side and then on the business side. Otherwise, either side or the general business suffers.
Interesting. In recent times, some situations opened my eyes. You mentioned the cost of materials, and
Yes.
I tried to contract someone to do a very small graffiti job for me one time, and then we were haggling about pricing and all of that. And he was like, you know what, go to the market and find out the cost of these things, acrylic paint and all the rest. And I actually did, and it was jaw-dropping that these things are very expensive.
They are.
And you see artists do this as a hobby, they do it for fun, and you're like, where do you people get the money from? Okay, now let me take it to my last question now. What is the most important lesson you have learned throughout your artistic journey?
I've learned a lot of lessons, but the one that stands out for me is time management. We are used to saying the statement, time is money, but the truth of the matter is time is time. Money can be easily replaced, but time, once it goes, it goes. So as much as possible during the day, during the week, I try my best to be as productive as possible to make sure that whatever actions or activities I'm engaged in produces a sense of value for myself and the people around me. So that's one thing that has stuck out to me.
Interesting. So not just the expenses, the cost of the products you use for your art. Now the time you spend, because some art works take days, even months to finish. And
That is true.
yeah, so time and money are two very important factors.
Yeah.
Now finally, if I let you go, where can viewers see more of your work? Not just online, but like physical, maybe like galleries or jobs you've done that you would like want people to see and your projects.
Okay, so for galleries, there are plans this year in line, and obviously we'll inform the general public when it's time. But for physical works that have already been installed in establishments, you can find them at B2B restaurant above the Lebanese embassy in Zone 4. There is a G Burger restaurant in 55 Kumasi, that's Wusi. And there's the View restaurant in Zone 5. There are several other locations outside of Abuja, of course, for those who are listening outside of Abuja. There is Kano, Cilantro Kano at Sultan Road. There is Lagos, Cilantro Lagos, Ikeja. So those are the places that you can find my
Wow,
work.
wow. Personally, I have seen the graffiti at the View. I didn't even know it was from you. You know,
Thank
that's
you.
really interesting. I must comment. That's very beautiful.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much for coming on the show. We hope to see more of you on subsequent episodes of the Entrepreneurial Spotlight. All right. Thank you very much. We had Paula Nyeze, a visual artist from Chen Art Studio. Be sure to check on Instagram at Chen Art Studio to see some of her work, and also contact her if you have any, graffiti, painting, visual art jobs that you want to, contract out. She's very good. I have seen some of her work, so I can attest to that. Well, unfortunately, this is where we draw the curtains on the Entrepreneur Spotlight. I'm Tenda Chimelu signing out and reminding us to join our YouTube channel at Weekend Show NG on YouTube, on Instagram, on X, and on Facebook. Like, share, comment, and tell us what is on your mind. For now, it's yours truly at Tenderly on Instagram signing out and reminding us to stay hydrated, stay in the shade, stay moisturized. This is the Harmattan season. Drink lots of water and mind your business. The Weekend Show will be right back after the short break.